I'm here with history teacher Matthew Welch asking a few questions about Osama bin Laden and what he was responsible for, why he was killed and stuff. So we'll start out with the first question I want to ask you is, who was Osama bin Laden?
He was the leader of Al Qaeda, and he basically organized terrorist attacks around the world, in Africa, the United States, some different places, and he had been on our radar for a long time before we got him. And there was like a famous quote from a FBI agent or a CIA agent that said basically a 25-cent bullet could have saved a lot of lives around the world, but they missed their opportunity to take him out because they couldn't get in contact with the president. But he later became the leader of Al Qaeda and killed thousands on American soil.
Why was he killed?
He was killed for his involvement in, like I said, in the 9/11 attack on the Twin Towers. That's basically why we went after him. A lot of things changed after 2001 in a terrorist attack with our war on terror and things like that. He was like the main cause of our foreign policy changing, so that's why we went after him.
What do you think personally people's feelings around the world were after he was killed?
Well, here in America, a lot of people were excited because it had been going on for years. We never dreamed that it would take as long as it did to get him. So a lot of people in America. I remember this is kind of embarrassing, but I was actually playing Call of Duty whenever he got killed, and I remember like people texting my phone and saying, they finally got Osama bin Laden, and I turned on like the news, and there was people gathering outside of the White House, and they were like chanting and rejoicing, and they were just glad. That's the feeling here in America, but now around the world, in some other countries, like where there's jihadists and stuff, there was people that to them they had a completely different feeling. That their feeling was rage, and they wanted to counter with some kind of other terrorist attack. So depending on where you lived on, how the feeling was.
Well, I guess our interview's over. I'm here with Miss Redmond today, social studies and psychology teacher, to ask her a little bit about Osama bin Laden and his raids and how she felt when it all happened. The first question I would like to ask you is, where were you on 9/11 and how did it affect you?
Believe it or not, I was a senior at the University of the Cumberlands, and I was walking to class. It was a beautiful day, and I can just remember it was on the TV. I went into work at the library for work study, and it was all over the TV, and it made me sick. One of the people that worked with me in the library thought that maybe her uncle could have been on the plane, and it made me sick, and it was just horrible. It made me absolutely sick.
Okay, and the second question is, what did you feel when you had heard about his death? Was you happy? Were you sad?
I thought it's about that gone time, to be honest.
I'd say that's how a lot of people felt. That's
Absolutely.
how I felt too. Okay, third question is, where did they take his body after the raid?
After the raid, there were so many people, and with plastic surgery to look like Osama bin Laden, and to keep the government on his heels and things like that, and to keep the government off track to finally getting him. They thought that he lived in the tribal area of Pakistan and Afghanistan, and really he lived in like a mansion in like Abbottabad, Pakistan, and it was within like a mile. I think it's like 0.8 miles from the Pakistan, like the equivalent to our West Point. Their big military school. But crap, what did you ask me?
Where did they take his body?
Where did they take him? So anyway, they took his body to Afghanistan for a positive ID. A lot of that's dental records and things like that. And the United States, we are a free country and free religion. So they did honor the Islamic, passage, I guess, of being, disposed of within 24 hours. So they put his body, death at sea. They put his body at sea. A lot of people think that it was at sea, so there wouldn't be like a shrine or a grave or something where people could go and worship him and give him credit. All these, idiots that he stirred up on like jihad, which is holy war against the United States.
Well, that's all we have. I'm here with the principal of Pineville High School, former history teacher, asking a couple of questions about Osama bin Laden and Al Qaeda. First thing I want to ask you is, how did you feel when you heard about the terrorist attacks of 9/11?
Well, I was standing right out here in the Commons area where we found out about the first plane crashing into the towers, and our guidance counselor at the time, Dan Gamble, came right in and said, "You need to turn on the TV," and we had the big TV out in the Commons, so we turned it on. And when we first saw it, we thought it was an accident, and then when the second plane hit, we realized what was going on, and it was, I don't know, maybe for 2 or 3 days, it was kind of like a numbness. You wasn't sure what happened. You knew what had happened, but it was hard to process it. It was one of those time periods. It was kind of uncertain. Obviously, at some point, a little anger starts creeping in, but initially, it was more like, what just happened? And the shock of it all.
Yeah, a lot of people, it struck fear, anger into them. Like, per se, Chris Kyle, American Sniper.
Right.
That's what pushed him to go into the military.
Right.
That's when he seen the attacks happen. Did you watch the videos of the raid on Osama bin Laden?
I have watched videos, and I've watched the Chris Kyle movie, and just about anything else that's been made about the war on terror. And you're right. There was a lot of fear. There was a lot of anger that happened, especially in the days that followed. I don't think I ever had a fear. I have a tremendous amount of respect and confidence in the United States military, and I've never really feared a nationwide attack or anything like that coming. Obviously, it makes you think about when you're traveling or when you're in a large group, but as far as some kind of large-scale attack, I never worried about that. It's mostly anger with me.
Did you ever feel like it was pushing you to want to go to the military?
By the time 9/11 happened, I was probably at an age when that wasn't possible. I thought about it when I was in high school. I thought about joining the military. I've looked back at times in the after high school that maybe I should have. But after 9/11, it didn't really occur to me just because of the fact of the age I was.
How did you feel when you heard about the raid and the death of Osama? Did you feel happy? Feel secure?
Yeah, that's probably a little bit of a bad human emotion to say that you felt good when somebody got killed. But that was one thing I was pleased that we had caught him and obviously killed him.
Well, appreciate it. Thank you for your time.
No problem.
On September 11, 2001, a terrorist attack was struck on the Twin Towers in New York. The attack was soon found to be plotted by Osama bin Laden, founder of Al Qaeda. This struck fear and hatred into many Americans, such as Chris Kyle. Also known as the American Sniper, this attack pushed him and many Americans to join the armed forces in America. This attack was one of many that pushed American armed forces to plot a raid to kill the leader of Al Qaeda, Osama bin Laden.
On May 2nd, 2011, in Baghdad, Pakistan, is the day that Osama bin Laden was killed in action. American military forces sent in SEAL Team 6 to go and find where he had been hiding out. They found him in his compound in Baghdad, Pakistan. The Navy SEALs creeped up the steps inside his compound to come and find the man they've been looking for. Robert J. O'Neill was a Navy SEAL in the United States military, and he was credited for the final shot to kill Osama bin Laden. They came up the steps, and they turned to come into Osama bin Laden's bedroom. And right at the foot of the bed is where Osama bin Laden was standing, and Robert J. O'Neill took the final shots to kill Osama bin Laden.